Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Irene and I'm an artist and illustrator and I'm based in the UK. I do a lot of drawing in various sketchbooks and I have another sketchbook tour for you. I only released one earlier this week, so this is the second sketchbook tour this week, I know. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. You will find lots of art content here, painting tutorials, sketchbook pages, drawing classes and lots more. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe and I really hope to see you around soon. This sketchbook took me a little over a year to complete. It has a lot of pages. So maybe a year and a half in total. It has a lot of pages, almost 100 pages, and I did a little poll on my community section of YouTube, where people said that they would rather have two shorter sketchbook tours instead of one long one. So this is going to be a two-part sketchbook tour. The sketchbook I'm using is a Seawhite of Brighton sketchbook. You can see it's a little bit damaged here. I need to put some tape on. I wrote sketches and doodles on the cover and at the front as well. It was a white sketchbook. I added the decorations myself. I actually have ordered the same one again, but with a dark cover because it does get a little bit dirty in white. Although it's nice to be able to paint on the outside as well. So it has pros and cons. I ordered a dark one for the next one. So let's dive straight in. This is my messy sketchbook, so be prepared for some messy sketches and some messy pages. On the first page there are some contact details. I seem to have skipped this page, maybe I should paint something there. And there we go, this is the first page that I made a drawing on. I didn't realize I skipped a page, and maybe I will add something there. So I started on the 26th of June and I'm using this sketchbook mostly for ink drawings of various type of inks. Here and there you will find some other mediums as well. I used it a lot for doodling, lots of different animals, peoples, and you will find some of these sketches as live sessions on my channel as well, so make sure you check those out. The pens I'm using are a mix of Winsor & Newton and Faber-Castell pencils. I have some Micron fine liners as well, and a Pentel brush pen that I use a lot. So you can see I started quite sort of tidy, even though loose sketches. This is all in June earlier this year. Is that true? And I really wanted to explore sort of creating spreads with lots of different themes. So you can see I started to date all my drawings in here. So I really like these. I made these in some stickers at some point. And you can see I started quite tidy and then slowly my sketchbook is getting messier and messier. So this was all. It's funny that this is more than a year ago since I created these. It's fun how quickly time goes. And I don't think my style has changed too much since then. This is actually a style I'm still exploring, that I'm still working in. Maybe not quite this with like the rounded limbs, but the sort of continuous line drawings and more looser sketches is definitely something that I'm still doing and I'm still having lots of fun with. I find these quite fun as well. So this is with my brush pen by the looks of it. This is like really like a varied sort of different line qualities. Portrait. And here I start to go into some more detailed figure sketches. I really like these. I'm not so happy with that one, but I really like these sort of softer sketches that are just straight with pen. No pencil sketches first. This is a session that I actually also shared. This was for a course that I was running of drawing an imaginary creature where I needed to prepare something to draw sort of beforehand. So this is some sort of troll. So I prepared that in a cafe and then I did some drawing from live as well. So this is someone sitting in that cafe having a cup of coffee. And yeah, I made a vlog of this. So if you go back onto my channel a little bit, you can watch that as well. I think drawing from life when you're out and about is really nice. I really enjoy doing that. And I like adding a bit of pop of color with some color pencil as well. So these are back from photos, quick sketches again. And here I started to explore a bit of pencil and one of these blending stumps. So this was in November. So you can see that there's quite a big gap at some point where I used another sketchbook much more. So I always have multiple sketchbooks on the go. I don't usually just draw in one sketchbook and then that's it. I have multiple sketchbooks that I draw in. So this was November last year, and it's November now, so this is a year ago that I made these sketches. And some of these are from my Fill Your First Sketchbook course. I used some of these pages for that course as well. This was a pen drawing. I don't think that one is very good either. Sometimes I get caught up a little bit too much in the details when I do a portrait, and then I mess it up a bit, which is okay. Not every drawing has to be great. That's the whole point of a messy sketchbook, that you can experiment a bit and have fun. So I'm pretty sure this was a live session on YouTube, drawing different topics. I'm really not used to drawing cars. I very rarely draw any cars, and I find it very hard. My comfort zone is animals and people. Animals and people, especially lions, dogs. Yeah, so that's where my comfort zone is. I really like this monkey, this ape here. I like filling the pages with lots of out of proportions animals, like the really big cat and then a small bison in the background, things like that. I find this a really fun spread. Some people, some vegetables. So you can see I'm sort of starting to use this page a bit more often. Practicing different heads and insects. So this was part of the course that I run. Sketching faces in ballpoint pen. If you are completely new to drawing and you don't know where to start, and you are thinking of buying art materials but you've not done so yet, and you're really not sure where to start with drawing in ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen is such a fantastic medium, and it's a really great way of getting started, and you don't need, it's just good to warm up sort of your creative muscles, and then on the go you will find what sort of materials you'd like to use more. So start with ballpoint pen. It's I'd really recommend that. Just for drawing people, it's fantastic. For drawing animals, it's fantastic. Explore the humble ballpoint pen. I'd really recommend that. So these are some big studies, which they have so many different funny expressions. I really like this one. It's a really funny animal to draw in here. I did this. How do you call these in English? Stokstaartje is what they're called in Dutch. And a lemur? No, lemur is a little bit different. And they will come to me. I know the English words, but yes, the second one I drew one here as well. I don't know if you've noticed it. Sometimes I have recurring themes, animals that pop up again. Random empty page, it happens sometimes. This is a landscape, which I actually really like. Maybe I should take a picture of it and then color it digitally. What do you reckon? I think it would look quite cool. I've not done that for a while. I like coloring things digitally, but I haven't done so for ages. So these are some sketches inspired by Elisa. I think, her portraits are really fantastic. So I took some inspiration from her drawing style, trying to sort of use my blending stump in a similar way. It's really hard. The next page is some color pencil portraits. I love drawing people in color pencil. This paper is not perfect for color pencil. I like it much more with ink. This is a great sketchbook for ink. Color pencil works, but it's not the best. It's a little bit too smooth, I think, for my taste. I prefer paper with a bit more texture. Some urban sketches. Really like this yellow-orange sky. I almost run out of that paint color. I need to buy some more again. Really love that color. And some more landscape, building sketches and patterns. If you don't know what to draw, making patterns is always a great way to start. It's really fun. And on this page, I practice drawing a portrait in a continuous line. So you can see I've used different mediums. Excuse me. I use different mediums. Just keep the pen on the paper and see if you can make a drawing without lifting your pen. It's really great exercise as well. Drawing some cutlery. This was from life, so I had the cutlery in front of me whilst I was drawing it. And yeah, cutlery is difficult because it has so many shiny parts and different shadows. So it's a fun exercise to do. And this was a bit of a sketch note page, what my day looked like. So running, there was snowdrops, so this is probably in the spring, some point January or February. Winter cold, reading, filming things. Yeah. This is another technique that I really love, where I draw with my fountain pen, which has water-soluble ink in it, and then go over it with a bit of water to add some shadows. And it's a technique that I really enjoy. I really like these sort of simplified faces as well. More animals. Yeah, it's a technique that I really enjoy and that I would like to explore a bit more of. More color pencil portraits. I've done some classes in color pencil portraits at some point. And yeah, I love layering lots of random colors to come to skin colors and tones. Another colorful spread. Here I mixed my mediums with, so there's some crayons in there, some color pencils, some ink. And a big tiger. I actually really like this spread. I think it's one of my favorites in this book, just because of all the colors. More faces, more people. I think it's a bit of a reoccurring theme in this sketchbook, is a lot of people's faces. This is also an online class. This was part of my Get Comfortable Drawing Faces class, Portrait in Color Pencil. And I've used that as a giveaway at some point as well. So if you're interested in watching that, let me know, and I can send you a link to the free class. If I find out that thousands of people now respond, I need to set it up a little bit different. But if a few of you do, then I'll just send you the link personally. More pencil drawings, pen, and with a little bit of color, foxes and owls. And I think this one came out really cute as well. I think this is watercolor pencil probably. I look at it now, I don't remember what I used, but it looks like water-soluble pencils. Here I made some sketches, some composition sketches for a bigger picture, which I then made in a different sketchbook. I don't have it at hand, but yeah. I used a different sketchbook to make these, and another color pencil portrait. Used some sketch pencil to practice eyes, which is a lot of fun to do. I think this one came out really well. That one came out really well. I used my mechanical pencil for these sketches. Just graphite. I really like drawing eyes. It's a fun exercise to do. I used to do it a lot. It's a little bit emo, isn't it, to draw lots of eyes. When I was a teenager, I used to do that. Nowadays, not so much anymore, but yeah, sometimes it's nice to go back to practicing things. Practicing ears. mouths, lips. That was all part of a course as well. We were practicing different things. Noses. This was for a potential commission that didn't go ahead. I had to practice this look. I'm not actually very happy with it, but it's what it is. Some more sketches, and here I used my oil pastels to create this little landscape. I'm sort of exploring oil pastels at the moment because I really like the texture. It's something that I think looks fantastic. I love that sort of rough, chunky texture, but it's not a material that I'm very used to yet. So it's all part of a learning curve at the moment. So here I practiced a bit more in oil pastels. It's an ongoing process. This sketch, as well as this one, were from an art class that I joined, but I don't remember who hosted it anymore. But it was all about creating the big shapes first and then adding details after. So really focus on the large shapes in color and then going in with more details afterwards. So that blob technique that I use quite a lot nowadays. So it was a class, but I don't quite remember who it was from. I really enjoyed it. I didn't really keep to the theme of the class. I used the techniques to make my own picture. This was a YouTube live session, so if you like to draw along with this cutie, you can do so. You can find it on my channel. I don't know if I can link these different classes that that you can find on YouTube, if I can link them in this video. If I can, I will. Otherwise, you might have to search for it yourself on my channel. Maybe I can link them in the description underneath. I will find a way to share them with you. Yeah, so that is a live session, a class that I run. This one is from a podcast that I did with Jade. Really happy how it came out. Love those vibrant colors. Had a lot of fun creating this whilst we were talking. And really enjoyed that page and that composition with those flowers. More faces, practices, more sketches. I don't think these are my best drawings. So this is funny. So this is probably a year later from this. See if I can find those first pencil sketches. And I actually think that those from a year ago, I don't know where they are now, but that the ones from a year ago are much better. So sometimes I know that progress and learning is sort of like every time you practice, you get a little bit better, but there's definitely dips and peaks in there as well. I don't think these are very good. These that are a year earlier almost, or like a few months earlier, I think are much better. But it doesn't mean that I forgot the skills that I practiced. It just means I had a bit of an off day. And that's fine. That's all just part of it. So it's something to keep in mind that even though you've practiced something for years, sometimes it can still go wrong. Even the best sort of basketball player misses the hoop sometimes, isn't it? So it's sport analogies are not for me. I don't really play. I run, but all these team sports I don't really know anything about. So this is the same technique again with pen and a little bit of water. So I use my fountain pen and a bit of water. Really love those textures. I think this one came out really well. She's almost like a mermaid, isn't it? Like sort of a mythical creature with those shadows. Really love this technique. Going to use it more going forward. Love the textures that ink create. I have a bit of a thing for ink. Yeah, really enjoy that. I don't really know what these doodles are. Pretty little people. That little face is just hilarious. Just doodles. Some more figures. I'm getting more and more comfortable with sort of proportions, and even on a quick doodle like this, I think like for example for these two, I think the proportions come out really well. This one is a bit odd. But it's it's just a matter of just having fun and practice, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. These are all without sketches as well, just straight on the paper in ink. Which is something that I really wanted to use the sketchbook for, and the more I do it, the more comfortable I get. So, some teapots. This was also from a live session. I found lots of interesting photos of old teapots online, and I used those as references. And this was also from a podcast recording. During my podcast, I always sketch. So this was a lot of fun. I actually really like this sort of forest and then this lake here. I do use reference photos very often, so I flick through Pinterest or for Unsplash or a stock photo website to just quickly I have the proportions in front of me, but then I use the photos for inspiration and I really sort of go off and do my own thing afterwards. So it's just there to help me sort of get started. I don't know when I drew these, but that's I think they came out really cute as well. Bit of a study of foxes. Fish. I actually really like that. I should share some more photos of this sketchbook on Instagram, I think. These otters were also from they're also on YouTube. I'm using a selection of different types of pen. Did I use a bit of color pencil for the green maybe? But yeah, I really like the color scheme. I think it's a really fun little illustration. This is also a tutorial on YouTube, drawing a realistic balloon animal. And these porcupines or funny creatures, this is like an anteater. I felt like I wanted to expand on the type of creatures that I was drawing. This is a live session from our community where we pretended to be in a cafe and draw our surroundings. We had to use some photos because we were all on Zoom. It was like a draw on location sort of event, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. And this is the last page I'm going to share with you. I think this is quite a nice one, sort of roughly in the middle. Nice one to stop with. Also a YouTube live session. I was sketching people and then I add the shadows with a bit of grey marker. These markers that I use for adding the grey here and there, they are from quite a cheap set of children's marker. And because of that, they don't bleed through this paper, which is really great. Maybe if I use lots and lots of layers of it, but for a bit of shadow, they don't bleed through, so you can see it doesn't come through the paper on the other side. I have a set of alcohol markers, which I also use in my sketchbook sometimes, but it really bleeds through the paper. And these markers do not, so they probably won't last. I wouldn't use them for any commissions or any like official things, but for sketchbooking, or if you then take a photo and edit it digitally, it works really well. Sometimes cheap materials are great. I think, especially for quick doodles and sketches. Also, adding a little bit of shadow onto a sketch like this instantly brings it to life. So it's a technique that I really enjoy. If you want to watch this, is also that you can draw along. There was a live session on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining in. So you can see lots and lots of pages. And there, we're sort of halfway onto the other side. I think I'll film it now, but then I'll share it a little bit later. So if you want to see the rest of my sketches, make sure you tune in for part 2. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to my channel. There's lots of art content, lots of tutorials. I share lots and lots of valuable things and drawing sessions here on YouTube. So thank you so much for being here. Lovely to meet you. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. If you want to get a link to that free session, let me know as well. I will share it. And thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon.